the single safety for Auburn. As Jeff Walker tees it up and sends Baker 6 yards deep in the end zone, and he'll take a knee. So it's first down and 10 as you look at the Phillips 66 starting lineup for the Tigers. Up front, they love Geno James and Riley, that right side of that front line. The backfield for Auburn looks this way with the changes. Rusty Williams at tail. Now, you will see Fred Beasley. He'll be backing up Kevin McLeod very early. Baker, Bailey, and Goodson as they go with 3 wides. McCovery is not here. He has a knee injury, a knee sprain at the tight end position, and they are going to spread it out even more so with Damian Craig this afternoon. Out of the shotgun. Craig's pass is underneath to Baker, who had been a favorite target. You'll remember he had a very big game against Ole Miss in a Jefferson Pilot Sports SEC game. Kendall Robertson was there to make the stop. As you look at the rest of that front 7, Day is back, and that's good news. Favors is a pass rusher, and they're very high on the Butkus candidate, Dwayne Curry, at the other linebacker. There have been some changes in the secondary. Adesela Baden is starting at left corner. McGill moves from left to right today, and we will see Brown when they go to the nickel coverage.
And Tim, if you want to watch football, you watch that man, Dwayne Curry. He's always around the football.
On first down, a quick hitch out to Baker. That might have been considered a lateral. It was very close. Incompleted forward pass as Adesela Baden was over there to provide the coverage, the sophomore from Metairie, Louisiana.
And anytime you see plays like those quick hitches out into the flat, you think set-up plays, because they'll throw that, fake it, and then send that fellow along. Boy, they really love the mobility of Damian Craig. He brings another element into the football game. He's able to get out of trouble. If Joe Lee Dunn pressures him, gives him that blitz in the face, he can get out of trouble.
Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Craig, this is where he can really burn you when he breaks contain. Pass is complete to Baker. In through Baden at the 45-yard line. A 15-yard pickup and another Tigers first down.
Boy, and what a great decision by Craig on that play. He's going to flush out to his left. Under that little bit of pressure. Starts to step up now, sees the pressure, comes out to his left, and watch him throw on just on the run. This is just great throwing. Squares up the shoulders, delivers a strike there. Could have had the run option, but just elects to throw it. He has a lot of confidence in his arm.
Again, 4 wide receivers set for the Tigers, and Baker has blocked a couple of passes in recent weeks. Has caught the first 2 today. Rusty Williams burrows for a couple in the grasp of Paul Lacoste, the senior from Jackson, Mississippi, playing that left linebacker spot for the Bulldogs.
Boy, and it's interesting to listen to these Auburn coaches talk about their players. They say, hey, they are unbelievable. When they're out there, those wideouts, they rarely drop the ball. There's a man who's got to be concerned.
Joe Lee Dunn, the defensive coordinator, calling the shots from the sidelines. Eric Hines Tucker has come in at the lone setback spot. Quick roll again, and Baker the recipient for a negligible gain in front of Izell McGill. You'll recall McGill had the interception return for a touchdown that ultimately was the game winner against South Carolina as they continue to run the hurry up.
Boy, and Craig just shows he can throw both ways on the run. That time rolls out to the right, throws a strike. Gets that first down, moves those chains. It's going to be interesting to watch what defense Joe Lee Dunn does today, because he puts so much pressure on quarterbacks with his blitzing scheme, and he always has a blitz of the day.
He has 5 defensive backs now with Tim Nelson in there, the freshman. From under center, Williams, quick hitter, and he's inside the Mississippi State 40 to the 39-yard line. Gregory Favors, number 56, the junior from Southside High in Atlanta, Georgia, made the tackle.
There was the blitz of the day as we spoke. You see the 2 backers come up inside. Against South Carolina, we saw them rush up the middle, right up the guard center gaps. This week, Joe Lee Dunn says, okay, we're going to rush to the outside of the guards. We'll put a little bit wider pressure.
Markeith Cooper now into the game, replacing Williams on 2nd and 5. Here comes Lacoste up the gap, and the pass flared out to Karsten Bailey. And his forward progress stopped at the 36-yard line, again in the grasp of Baden. They're really working against Adesela Baden, who is starting in place of Anthony Derricks, who did not get much work during practice this week. They moved McGill from left to right corner, and Baden up from the number 2 spot into a starting role.
Well, that puts a lot of pressure on you, but if I'm a defensive back, I like that because right away I get the hit, I get the cover, I get the field.
Third down and a yard to go for Terry Bowden's team at the 36 of Mississippi State. They'll call it 3rd and 2, but it is a short 2. Craig will do it on his own. Cracked down at the 30. Collared after a 6-yard gain by Dwayne Curry, number 44. Curry knocked Juan Daniels cold in the game last week against Georgia. They're happy that he will be able to play against Tennessee later tonight, but that's a hit that Daniels will not soon forget, and number 44 can lay a hat on you.
Oh, he certainly can. What a good block that time by Thomas, right guard out there. He come out on the outside backer, Ernest Garner.
1st and 10 from the 30. Initial series underway for Auburn. They began at their own 20. Cooper. Well, you can see the reasoning behind Terry Bowden's change going to the Williams-Cooper sort of scat back style, because with the field spread, this 5'7" youngster can really get through there. He had over 100 yards against Fresno State this year.
Look at the plant right there. Get to the outside. Now he's in the free right there. Try to set up one of his wide receivers on a block there. Doesn't get the block from Baker, but again, gets to the outside. They want that much faster, quicker, into the hole, slashing type of style.
Picked up 7, 2nd down, 3. Now out of the I formation. Cooper Dotson. Quick hitch. Slant pattern over the middle, complete to Goodson. He has been the go-to guy in down and distance situations. Kendall Robertson, the free safety, knocks him down. Yet another redshirt freshman from Calhoun City, Mississippi.
And when you think blitz on offense, what you do is you do the little short curls. And that's exactly what Terry Bowden has elected to do to take the pressure off Damian Craig, is to throw those little short curls, pick up those first downs.
First back through this time. And guess who? It's Beasley operating at the fullback spot. Now, one might think that Beasley would be a bit upset, but, you know, at the next level, he projects more as a fullback than a tailback.
Yeah, he's about 220 pounds. He's strong. And I think Terry Bowden said to him, listen, my dad's had a lot of guys, and I know what it takes to play at the next level, and you can be a great fullback.
Does the name Floyd ring a bell?
Certainly does.
2nd and 5. Play action fake. Goodson again, right at the 5-yard line. Lacoste is there with him. He's been very involved. 3 stops already today for him.
When if I'm Terry Bowden, I love my quarterback in this situation because Damian Craig is throwing every ball has been a strike. He's thrown great trajectory. They've just nailed it.
6 of 7 for 50 yards in this drive that has already netted 76 yards.
Hey, this is interesting. We changed about 5 or 6 guys on the run.
McLeod burrows to the 1. That should be a first down. 1st and goal for Auburn at the 1-yard line, it would appear.
Tim, they ran in an unbalanced line. That was really interesting. Look at all the people to the right. That was just power right football. Just get behind the big guys. They ran it quickly on the change. When unbalanced right, just power football.
At the 2-yard line.
And the mark now is at the 2 rather than the 1, but again very close to the necessary yardage for the first down.
That was an interesting formation. They brought 4 linemen in, 4 offensive linemen in, had the regular line unbalanced, and then put 2 behind it.
A positive mark for Jackie Sherrill, and decision time for Terry Bowden. And did you see that signal?
Yeah, we saw that signal. That last game we did with Mississippi State when Joe Lee Dunn blew in his hand, that meant blow it up the middle. Just everybody come on, right up the middle.
What does the old Raider lineman say? This is just
blow it up the middle.
Big man on
big man on big man.
I thought you'd say that.
That's exactly what it is.
14th play. Craig may have the first down without the touchdown. He only needed about a foot, and that would in essence give them 5 cracks at it from about a yard away.
Interesting. Did you see they guessed right? Mississippi State guessed right up the middle. Look at this surge. You'll see that Craig doesn't go forward, not until his second effort right there. You see him twisting. There he falls forward for what looks like the first down.
First down and goal. Terry Bowden says, let's keep it moving, fellas.
I think he wants to hurry up.
He knows what the play clock is doing, and it is winding down on him.
Yeah, you don't want a 5-yard penalty here.
McLeod, touchdown Auburn. Second touchdown of the year for the junior from Clarkston, Georgia, and it's 6-0 Tigers.
When they got down in that 4-down territory inside the 20-yard line, a lot of people call it the red zone, whatever you want to call it, and they just went back to what they do well. Power football brought a lot of extra players in. The strength, big man on big man. I love it.
Jared Holmes tacks on the extra point, and Auburn takes a quick lead off a methodical 15-play, 80-yard drive. Back to Scott Field in a moment. First quarter action underway after this word from CarQuest Auto Parts.
First day my new boss throws me the keys.
Get it fixed, kid.
So I took it to Charlie. Guy's a real pro.
Let's get the parts.
Charlie says to be the best, you gotta use the best. All CarQuest parts are guaranteed, and there are more than 3,000 CarQuest stores with every part you can think of.
Relax. It's done. Did you get the car fixed, kid?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get the parts?
CarQuest?
Welcome to the pros, kid.
Oh, everyone needs someone who will be there. Everyone needs someone on their side. Sometimes you know you need a friend. What's coming round the bend? Nationwide is on your side.
Come on, baby, show your stuff. Work it hard for me, baby. Can't get enough.
Nice shot.
All the
Who's
boys,
next?
they're watching you. You really work it, woman. You know that's true. And when you do, you'll be my little baby blue.
Hey up, boys.
It's here.
Let me feel it.
97 626 LX5.
I want to touch it.
Customized by Mazda.
I want to hold it in my hand.
With air, cruise control, cassette stereo, power windows and locks, and more. $17,895. Or lease for $229 a month, $500 down.
I'm never gonna let go.
Mazda, customized for value, 626.
I got a passion for the road.
7-0 McLeod, the recipient of the second touchdown of his season in an Auburn Tigers uniform from the fullback spot. Boy, did Damian Craig look sharp in that opening series. Holmes will kick off. Robert Isaac is back deep for the Bulldogs. Coming down to the 7-yard line, and here's Isaac. Finds a seam and is up to the 26, maybe the 27-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs take over after a 21-yard return. And the Phillips 66 starting lineup includes Ainsworth and Smith. The strongest side is the left side of that offensive front with Hoover at center. Matt Wyatt is at quarterback. Isaac, who's quick, did have 93 yards last week, but he's no Keeper McGee. Woodbury is a speedster at wideout, joined by Grant and the tight end Jennings. And here's the youngster, Matt Wyatt. This is his second start of the year, but the first time he was announced as a starter in the 96 season. Quick hitch out to Woodbury. The Tigers, who sideline to sideline have a lot of speed, were right there with him. Martavius Houston, the best of their defensive backfield, a strong safety, made the stop. Rumbaugh is one to watch, the nose man. The linebackers, though, outstanding. Two of the best, Keo Spikes and Marcellus Mostella, both Butkus candidates. And the secondary, a shuttle at that right corner position. This is the sixth different right corner, Antoine Nolan. This is his second opportunity, but they've had 6 separate starters in 6 consecutive weeks at the right corner position for Bill Oliver. Second down 11. Wyatt throws that out pattern. Dangerous pass in front of Nolan. They will give him credit for the catch at the 28, maybe the 29.
And that's what you want a young quarterback to do, to get confidence, throw those quick hitters, let him complete a few passes, let him get rid of the little bit of jitters. We talked about the inexperience that Wyatt has when compared to Tate. This is a good throw. It's out in the flat. He gets away with it.
And right away they tell you they're working on that right corner where they've had the swinging door policy that Bob Kessling touched on with his bullets. Third down and 8. Wyatt maybe just shy of a first down as he goes to the tight end Jennings, again in the arms of Antoine Nolan. But we have a marker down in the Bulldogs backfield.
Oh, and that flag was thrown from about 25 yards away. It was something on the outside. Yep, it's going to be a hold.
Our referee, Astor Sizemore, giving the preliminary indication. And that'll back him up. Very quick moving first period because of that methodical drive. Only one incompletion by Craig. It was dropped, and no penalties in that 80-yard drive.
Well, I think they were looking to see if in fact it was a first down. If it had been a first down, then you take the penalty.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, spotted a fall, repeat, third down.
That'll move him back.
Well, from the spot of the foul, so that takes him back not only from the line of scrimmage, but the spot of the foul was about 4 or 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, so that takes him back. It's almost a 15-yard penalty.
Ron Gilbert, our referee, with that announcement, and that backs him up. Third down and 23, and they'll go with a shotgun. Nakia Greer gets it beyond the 15-yard line. They're just looking for some field position for their outstanding punter, Andy Russ, who leads the Southeastern Conference. Mark Smith made the tackle. So the penalty negates what might have been a good start for the freshman. And the Tigers are going to get it back and in good field position.
Well, you think good field position, but look at that average. Over 48 yards of punt. That's an average.
He's the best in the league. Knows how to play the wind. Left-footed punter, and he gets some good distance here. Baker, though, with room at his 33. Tripped up at the 40. Markers fly as he goes down. The flag is at the 50. Tim Nelson was down there to undercut him. A 7-yard return off a 50-yard punt, right on his average.
And now you think of the block in the back. That's what it is, the block in the back. So that compounds the field position for Auburn. It takes them back an additional yardage.
On the return, blocking the back.
And we'll back him up to the 30-yard line when we return. Auburn leads by 7.
I'm Dave Edwards, and with our 97s here, it's easy to figure we got to sell our remaining 96s. So to do that, every Camry, Corolla, and Tercel is priced at invoice, 1% financing, and 0 money down. Now, you're probably thinking, where's the catch? Well, there is none. Every Camry, Corolla, and Tercel is priced at invoice, 1% financing, and 0 money down. That's only at Dave Edwards Toyota in Spartanburg, where any Toyota ad's a Dave Edwards Toyota ad.
In 1995, Manufactured Homes outsold site-built homes in South Carolina. For a limited time, Gold Star is offering a 1997 Horton home with shingled roof and vinyl siding for only $12,997. Gold Star Housing has 3 lots conveniently located near you with over 70 homes on display. And Gold Star's service team offers setup and service second to none. Be sure to ask about their guaranteed lowest price and their 10-year warranty. Gold Star Housing in Spartanburg, Welford, and Greer.
Problem. Your home's been a bit drafty lately. Solution? Go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's has the storm doors, insulation, heaters, and fireplace accessories, everything to keep you toasty all winter long while saving you energy and money. Plus, nobody beats our prices guaranteed. So, how do you keep winter from leaving you cold? Lowe's, because Lowe's knows home improvement.
Subway bakes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way.
It's back! The A1 steak and cheese from Subway, smothered with original A1 steak sauce. Plus, your choice of garden fresh veggies. And for a limited time, you can get the A1 Steak and Cheese Meal Deal. That means you get a 6-inch sub, a bag of chips, and a 21-ounce drink for just $3.99.
Subway, my way, Subway.
Hurry in for Subway's A1 Steak and Cheese Meal Deal, only $3.99.
Stations can be found at the south end of both east and west stands.
Wyatt and Tate may be the focal point of attention with the alumni, but during the timeout, the attention span of the defenders came into play with Joe Lee Dunn. Now, this is a guy with a tremendous reputation, a guy that's had the best defense in this league in '93, helped Arkansas to a Western Division crown last year, and now at Mississippi State, he's really had it handed to him 2 weeks consecutively, first by Georgia, now by Auburn. Here's Rusty Williams, that quick flare, and it is very effective. He's out of bounds near midfield, finally taken out by Curry.
I would tell you, I saw a block there by Jim Rowe, the big tackle, number 73. And I mean, he swallowed the free safety, Robertson. He swallowed him. Big man coming out on that play. It's a little swing pass out into the flat, and he's got to get that outside block. Watch him, 73, right of your screen. Now, when the pass is thrown, now watch him come up on there. There's the safety. Boom! You don't even see the safety in the picture. That's Robertson.
Williams again. Gets it to about the 47-yard line. Robertson again making the tackle. You know, going back to Jim Rowe, number 73, the offensive tackle on the right side. This is a young man with a pilot's license, and they've got a few rental planes there at Auburn. He's been able to take them up and get a few hours in, and he's a free spirit, they say, for obvious reasons. They say the elevator may go up, and not many people get to go with him.
Might not go all the way up.
May not go all the way up.
I thought it was funny, though, Terry Bowden said, I said, did you fly with him? Heck no, I ain't flying with him.
2nd and 6. They dump it over the middle. Williams, knowing right where the chain is located, appears to have the first down right at the 40. Lacoste makes the tackle.
Somehow I think Terry Bowden has a lot more confidence in Jim Rowe's blocking than his flying.
Well, there are times we may need to call Mr. Rowe.
That's right.
Not you, Mr. Rowe, but the other Mr.
Rowe. That's right. Younger Jim Rowe.
McLeod is checking into the game as Willie Gaucher leaves. Gaucher, by the way, the leading pass receiver of a season ago, just eligible. Greg running in the boot out towards the right side. Passes it against the grain. It was dangerous. Might have been picked off. Robertson was there. So too was Adesla Baden. I think Baden might have had the best shot at it. It was intended for Tyrone Goodson.
Boy, Baden was playing the quarterback, and he was coming over. He broke off his coverage on the left of your screen. Look for 25 to come in. Anytime you throw like this, cross your body, backing up, nothing on it, you float it. Watch Baden come into your picture. 25 right there. Oh, man, he was zeroed.
Did you notice who was putting the pressure on with the blitz on that play? It was Eric Brown, the aforementioned defensive back that they're very happy to have back in the lineup today for Mississippi State. This little pass is incomplete. And again, a safety blitz as Tim Nelson was coming. So the blitzes work in this sequence for Joe Lee Dunn. But the ball's still at the 40-yard line, and 3rd down coming up.
But it's interesting pressure, a lot different. Now that looks like the middle blitz right there. That's the one that we saw in South Carolina when he does the arm straight down and blows into his fist. That's usually the middle blitz, right up the middle, trying to get in his face.
3rd and 10. Here comes Curry, but there's the corner again. And down goes Craig, and the ball is loose. And the pilot is atop it. Jim Rowe. You talk about a big play. You don't have to worry about the elevator, Mr. Rowe, as long as you'll get on top of it and save the day. That's a big miss for Mississippi State. Now, the defense does its job, but there was a break of mammoth proportions that they let get away.
Oh, yes. They put great pressure from the outside, really got on them, forced the miscue, and now they're going to have good field position.
Holmes will punt it away. Isaac waiting at his 20-yard line. They come after him. Almost had it. Isaac at the 8-yard line. Stopped at the 18. Clarence Callaway, a redshirt freshman, had a clear sail towards Jared Holmes, and I think the punt went right between his hands. 7-0 Auburn. Will return after this message from Bell South.
Life. It's not the sort of thing that shuts down at 5.
Tim, you talk about a game of inches. This is a game of inches. Watch Clarence Calloway from the left-hand side of your screen. It goes between his arms. Unbelievable. You talk about, oh, is that close?
They had a fumble that they missed, and now they have a block punt that they missed.
Opportunities.
All important when Auburn's offense appears to be ready to kick in on all cylinders. Wyatt with an audible. From the 18-yard line. Lofts it for Woodbury, incomplete. Woodbury, junior transfer, played at Itawamba Junior College. Very popular junior college that has produced many a talented, skilled player. He hails from Key West, Florida. He's the guy that they like to break deep, and Wyatt can throw the deep ball.
Well, I watched that time. I was watching Lahidi Grant, number 4, go across the middle, and he was wide open. If Wyatt had been able to come off his primary receiver and see Grant, he could have just marched up down the field, could have started the band up.
Tony Buckholder now in at the lone setback position. So he gets it to the 20-yard line, and that's all. A gain of perhaps 2. Marcellus Mostella, senior from Gadsden, Alabama, preseason All-America, made the tackle.
Now comes the pressure on Wyatt. He's the inexperienced quarterback at that pressure situation. It's a youngster, just a freshman.
Well, in 2 series, he's faced 2 third down and 8s.
Yeah, that's not what you want for your quarterback.
But a team in transition, facing 6 defensive backs. This is a dime package now that Auburn is throwing at the freshman. Straight drop. Wyatt in trouble. Sack. I can't believe the ball isn't loose. Mostella sandwiched him along with Antoine Nolan. I think Nolan was the first to get there, but Mostella had him sandwiched from the other side.
When you think about your right cornerback on a blitz, but when you have a dime package, you can bring your cornerback, and that's what they did. They brought a lot of players. You see the strong safety going in there. That's Taylor, number 6 also. So they had an all-out blitz. They were not going to give him long to throw.
Nolan gets credit for the sack. And now Andy Russ will punt it away from his 2. Low trajectory. He'll need a roll here. Baker picks it up on a dead run. Look at that speed to the corner. Finally taken out by Tim Nelson, who's been very active today as a defensive back, and a marker comes down. Ball at the 45-yard line.
I wonder if that was a face mask.
Well,
I mean, it was way late. It looked like it was thrown late after the play, so maybe it was part of the tackle. But
well, anytime you see a tackle up high, you think of that.
Yeah.
It's another.
It's the hand in the back.
Yep.
And what that is when the coverage team is coming down, or the return team is running after the football, there's a tendency. What they do is they put their hand in the middle of the back.
On the return, block in the back, on the return, by Red, 10-yard penalty.
Wait a minute. What's the red team doing blocking? They're the punting team. That's an interesting call.
Well, I think the point you were making is true. What we were given by our referee was an incorrect call in terms of the verbalizing of it, but your explanation, I think, was accurate. Well, you can't push someone in the back, even if you're the defensive team. And markers come down prior to the snap.
Now, what Craig did that time is he tried to draw him off, use that cadence. They call it a freeze play.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Ron Gilbert is not going to be intensely popular along the Mississippi State sidelines, and you see he's dealing with the wrath of Jackie Sherrill right now. There's a whole lot of lip coming from old Jackie here. First down and 5. Already State penalized for 25 yards. Craig, quick hitch. Baker, very dangerous. Look at him make people miss. Got right away from McGill and forces the linebacker, Dwayne Curry, to make the stop. A 9-yard pickup. Let's go down to Bob Kessler.
Tim, one thing that Mississippi State's been bothered by all season, of course, has been the injuries on the defensive front. Eric Brown, we talked about him. James Greer, nose guard out. back today, though, is Terry Day. He's been hobbled by a bad ankle. You can see his right ankle is heavily taped. He still doesn't have the movement, but Mississippi State needs to get as many guys out on the field as they can.
No doubt, and they're spending a lot of time on the field here in the first half. Karsten Bailey, this time the recipient. Look at that block. A magnificent near crackback block, allowing him about another 8 yards. The missed tackle by McGill, but he was chopped away very quickly.
Yes, he was. These are little hitch plays where you bring the big guys out. That's James. He was the one on that play. Number 78 is going to run out there. He's going to pick up the corner. You see him come in there. He's trying to get to the corner.
McGill came up a little hurriedly. Beasley carries, picks up 2, maybe 3 yards. Really, when you think of it, McGill hitting the turf almost stopped a flag from being thrown.
It certainly did, because that would have been a clip. But, you know, the hurry-up offense is really bothering Mississippi State, too. They're not huddling. They're going in this hurry-up offense. You just almost get the feeling that Mississippi State hasn't gotten their second wind yet.
Damian Craig has been up to the challenge that Joe Lee Dunn's staff and personnel has thrown here in the opening period. Fade pattern for Goodson. Touchdown! Eric Brown was in the game, number 18. But what Craig has that perhaps Anthony Wright did not have of South Carolina against Mississippi State is this kind of touch.
Well, then, look at that touch. Throw it up high. Only let your receiver get the football. Give him an opportunity. We've seen a lot of those fade routes. That's what Danny Werfel runs so well, and I think LSU ran into that today.
And how? Holmes with the extra point. And again, as we touched on at the top, the race in the West more wide open than perhaps before, with LSU getting their first conference loss and Alabama still having to play both at LSU, against Auburn, and against the Tennessee Volunteers. Around the SEC, speaking of that, presented by Morgan Keegan, the South's premier investment firm. Well, the Tigers obviously had their problems today against the Gators. I think that's a compelling matchup tonight, Tennessee and Georgia. The Bulldogs have to be feeling better about themselves between the hedges. But when you talk of Air Spurrier, look at those numbers. And as good as this SEC is, it's beginning to appear very scary, the distance that Spurrier and his team are putting between themselves and the rest of the lot.
Well, they've got a magnificent machine just rolling week after week. We saw Werfel and company last week against Arkansas in a good fight by Arkansas, but look what they did to LSU today.
That's a quick drive. Goodson with the touchdown reception. His third touchdown catch of the year.
Really an important series right now for Mississippi State. They need to get some momentum going. They need their quarterback to gain a little bit of confidence. We talked about how young he is. He needs to get some things going.
Let's talk about those missed opportunities, though. The fumble by Craig and then the missed block punt. Boy, that changes a lot.
Certainly, especially that fumble. They recover that fumble. They're in great field position. They block that punt. That's 7 points.
Holmes will kick it away. Robert Isaac is back deep. Well, he got a hold of that one through the end zone. It's good. Well, if we were in Australia, you'd get an extra point for that.
That thing carried 75 yards in the air.
Hit the goalpost and went through. Jarrett wants a few extra attaboys for that. You know, and then that loss to LSU, he had a tough time of it. He missed some field goal tries, missed an extra point, really struggled in that game. That might have been the real factor in that ball game that allowed the Tigers of LSU to whip up on Auburn on the Plains. Twin tight ends for Mississippi State, Jennings and Reginald Kelly. They run off the right side with Isaac. He gets about 3 yards. Stopped by Ricky Neal, junior from Daytona, Florida. Played at Seabreeze. Somewhat unheralded. Playing with the likes of Mastella as well as Spikes. Damian Craig having a big day, enjoying it on the sidelines. Don't forget, coming up next week, speaking of that Georgia team we were touching on, they play the Commodores of Vanderbilt between the hedges back at 11:30 Central and 12:30 Eastern Time. Second down, 7. Wyatt's pass is caught. That's Lahidi Grant at the 41-yard line. A confidence boost, to be sure, for Matt Wyatt.
Yeah, 20-yard reception. That'll build your confidence if you're a young quarterback. The amazing thing about Wyatt, they all talk about the strength of his arm. This ball he just kind of flicks this ball. Watch Grant come in, number 4, curl right there. The ball's delivered. But as the delivery was made by Wyatt, it was just a little snap, just a little flick, and it went 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41. Clock ticking down, under 20 seconds. Mississippi State off their first down, and a mix-up here. Well, they were crossed up right from the start on that handoff. And that'll necessitate a loss of 2, maybe 3 yards. Could have caused a turnover.
Yeah, that's called a sprint draw. When the quarterback takes the ball, he fronts out and he runs out like that. Never got the ball to him.
That's what Lynn Amity wants. A lot more success with the lead draw and sprint draw. That's not it, fellas. We've played one. Auburn leads.
Cars do more than get you from one place to the next. They're part of memories forged in childhood. Special moments spent together. Fond farewells. But as we all know, the journey doesn't always go as planned. And that being the case, it's good to have the peace of mind you only get from a familiar face on the road. Owned by people you know. For all the miles to come, Phillips 66, the performance company.
See this label? This is the Gatorade. Look under the label for a chance to win SEC Championship tickets label. The Rush to the Sidelines label. Meaning 2 tickets. The Georgia Dome, the game, live instant SEC gratification. And a chance to be on the sidelines. The field. Any closer, you'd need mandatory life insurance. Feel the magnitude. This is big. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
It's not sleepy time down south anymore. Today, the region's economy is expanding, and investment opportunities are springing up right in our own backyard. Morgan Keegan, the South's leading investment firm, carefully tracks these opportunities, finding regional stocks and bonds that are tomorrow's blue chips. And Morgan Keegan brokers know if you want to attract a crowd, you have to pay attention to details. That's why smart Southerners come to Morgan Keegan for financial advice. Morgan Keegan, capital for the South.
Mazda. The 97 Protege LX5. No other car turns more heads for just $13,990. Special equipped with air, cassette, cruise, and power everything.
Let's go for a ride in my Protege.
Or lease for $209 a month, $1,000 down.
I got a passion for the
Mazda.
14-0 Auburn as we begin the second quarter. The Bulldogs of Mississippi State need to get something going. They've lost 4 after picking up their first down of the game. They now find themselves in a 2nd and 14 situation. Pass is batted into the air and could have been picked off. Very easily, Mostella could have come away with it. Solomon was in position as well to perhaps come up with the interceptions. May have been tipped into the air by Spikes. As you look at our Mazda first quarter stats, and obviously the domination illustrated for Auburn.
Yeah, when you start talking about your first down, you realize you have no offensive yards. They're fortunate only to be under 14-0, but look at Craig, 10 of 13, 80 yards. He has really done well.
And another 3rd down and long coming up for Matt Wyatt. Isaac in motion. Pass is airmailed and caught. Lahidi Grant again shy of midfield at the 49. He gets 10, but the loss of 4 yards on the initial play from scrimmage in this series forces a 4th down and 4 coming up.
Well, he cuts this thing off about 4 or 5 yards shy of the first down. I think you've got to run to the first down marker. At least get to the first down if you're going to throw that pass. You know how quickly Auburn is going to cover you, so you got to make first down yardage.
Confirmation for Mississippi State, 22 Russ.
Andy Russ will punt it away. High and deep. Baker will field it at the 4-yard line. That was a mistake. And a mark marker goes down as he is dropped at the 9-yard line.
Boy, and I wonder where that marker was, because it looked like that marker was right on the goal line. You block in the end zone, you're in trouble. This is going to be an interesting mark. The marker is on the 1-yard line.
Well, number one, it was a mistake by Baker to field the punt.
Yeah, absolutely. They always tell you when you field a football, you stand on the 10-yard line. If you have to back up, you let the ball go. But what he did is he's drifted back to about the 6 or 7-yard line, caught it, and he was inside the 5.
On run back, clipping, on the return team, half the distance to the goal, spotted a foul, first down.
All right, the spot of the foul is on the 1-foot line. Right there's the clip. You see the clip right there in the back? That is on the 1-yard line. This ball ought to be placed on about the 6-inch line.
That's the young man that committed the clip, who is not even on the roster that's been given us, or even on the flip chart. He's the young man that committed that clip that forced this sequence for Auburn. Damian Craig looking long for Bailey. Got it! At midfield. Baden and Nelson were both there, but in a jump ball situation, advantage Bailey.
And this could have been the longest play in college football from about the 2-inch line. If he leads them a little bit farther, you can see how far the ball is thrown out there. It's about a 50-yard pass in the air. And he comes down with great field position. One play turns the game around.
Greg slips as he takes the ball from center. That's about the only way you can stop Damian Craig.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let him fall down on zone, but what a play there. What confidence in your offense. And again, Mississippi State elects not to blitz. They don't blitz Craig in that situation. They've got him backed up on the 1-yard line, and he throws a rocket.
Craig trying to get away from the pressure, finally out of bounds at the 34, and they hammered him. He paid for that one. It's Nelson again.
And what they wanted that time is they wanted Damian Craig. They wanted him grounding the football, because as he was going out of bounds, it looked like he tried to throw a pass. Watch the tail end of this. See if he doesn't try to throw a pass. No, not really. That ball just came out of his hands.
Number 10 is Rodney Creighton for Auburn, and we apologize for not having that information, but it was very simply not on our flip chart, not on our roster sheet. Rodney Creighton is the man for whom committed that clip, but right now that's a thing of the past. Craig looking to pass again. Oh, look at that move. Is that an athletic move? And he gets it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 50. That's 16 yards, and Craig got it done on his own.
You can't believe how frustrating that is for a defense to get great pursuit, great penetration up through the middle, force the quarterback out, and then he runs for 15 yards. That will kill your defense. Put so much pressure on your secondary, because once he gets past the line of scrimmage, you've got to cover until he gets past the line of scrimmage. Once he gets past the line of scrimmage, you've got to recover back to make the tackle. Well, what a difference he is at quarterback, having someone that mobile.
Holmes will punt it away. It's 4th down and 10. No one back. Boy, Mississippi State did not believe that Auburn was going to let it go. And it will bound all the way into the end zone for the touchback. 3 minutes deep. Hey, how are you? Having a good time? Well, if you're an Auburn fan, you might be. 14-0 Tigers.
How Charlie the Barber eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. First, I take a little off the top. Then, I take a little more. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Oh, everyone needs someone who will be there. Everyone needs someone on their side. Sometimes you know you need a friend, but what's coming round the bend nationwide is on your side.
So you want me to tell you about some of the things that are on my Discover card statement? I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf balls were on here. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover.
Guess which burger chain just received a #1 overall rating in a recent national survey? Nope. Sorry. Who received a #1 ranking? Sonic. First in service and a #1 rating in overall satisfaction. At Sonic, your order is delivered fast and in person. And Sonic makes everything fresh to order. So break away from the ordinary and drive into America's choice.
Sonic, driving for a change.
A new standard has been set for truck and sport utility buying in the upstate. A gold medal standard. Fairway Ford is the upstate's only gold medal truck dealer. Our winning combination of truck and sport utility selection, flexible price and payment plans, and truck service specialists challenge you to find a better truck deal anywhere. Looking for a truck, new or used? Go for the gold. At your gold medal truck dealer, Fairway Ford on the Motor Mile in Greenville.
Along with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessling, Tim Brando, 14-0 Auburn. 12:01 remaining here in the first half, and yet again Mississippi State starts at its own 20-yard line. They have certainly not had field position on their side. They only have 1 first down so far in the ball game. Buckhalter's in the backfield, and the quick hitch is complete for a negligible gain to Cameron Floyd, number 16. Rodney Creighton, who is in the game at strong safety. We should mention to you that a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we had the game with Mississippi, Rodney Creighton, we had him on a roster. We were aware of him, but we're just happy to know that he's still on the team. Young freshman from Dadeville, Alabama. Second and 6. Post corner route, incomplete, intended for Floyd. Let's go down to Bob Kessler.
You know, it's kind of a dilemma in the Bowden household today. The other Bowden, the elderly Bowden, has a big game as well. Florida State's leading 10-0. I asked Terry Bowden today, I said, where's your mom going? Is she going to go to either game? She says, no, she's going to stay home, be politically correct, and watch them both on TV at the same time. So Dad's doing okay, and so is Terry right now.
Tommy Bowden, obviously, is on that staff, and he was the Bowden who was on the sidelines last week.
Exactly.
Florida State, by the way, is leading Miami 10-0. Hut cadence maneuver that time by the freshman. It may have worked. Mark Smith appeared to be jumping off sides. Number 97, the defensive end. Senior from Vicksburg, Mississippi, playing in his home state, but in an Auburn uniform.
And now the question is, was he drawn offsides? If he's not drawn offside, it'll bring down 3rd down and 2, and that could really change the complexion of a play.
Particularly if you're in Mississippi State's state of mind offensively.
Yeah, they have to get something going on offense. I look for Matt Wyatt to look out. He hasn't really thrown to Woodbury yet. That's the big discussion here, I guess, to find out whether he's drawing off or not.
How long does it take? I mean, they're in conclave here. This isn't a discussion.
The whistle blew. I think he might have been drawn off. That may be what the discussion is.
Defensive man came in the neutral zone. A non-threatened player on the offense entered the neutral zone. Offside on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, let me tell you what that play does. What he's saying is a defensive player jumped into the neutral zone. If the player straight across from him right there on the left of your screen, if he jumps, it's different. But you see him jumping on the right-hand side. A non-threatened player on the right-hand side jumped back. So that's the play. The defensive player didn't draw the offense offside.
3rd down and 11. Wyatt throwing off the wrong foot, and that is picked off. Intercepted by Dan Evans. Touchdown. 36 yards.
And Tim, we talked about inexperience. There's a sign of inexperience. When you hurry a play, when you're a quarterback, you can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to throw the football up. And that's what the young freshman Matt Wyatt did. He threw it up. He saw pressure right here coming in his face, and just last minute just winged it. Didn't step into it. Look, no one's going to catch that football except the cornerback. That's Evans. He's out for the races right here, but you cannot afford to throw a football up like that just for grabs.
Evans, a sophomore from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. And the extra point by Jaron Holmes makes it a 21-0 count. It's a happy fella. And Auburn's defense dictating tempo now. 21-0 they lead, and will return after this word from your local SEC station.
Other car dealers made it confusing, but Crane made it all so easy.
Enjoy driving this brand new 96 S10 truck with air, automatic, and cassette for only $12,495.
Just honest-to-goodness value. That's what I got from Crane.
No hassle. Just the car I wanted at the price I wanted to pay. Crane made it happen.
Crane, we do people right.
So as business owners, what do you expect from a bank?
To understand the needs of my business.
Understand your business? Well, it'd be great if they just knew your name.
A faster turnaround on loan approvals.
I think if a bank is locally owned, then you get quicker decisions.
Personal service is important.
Absolutely.
Jim, we haven't heard from you yet.
Well, I bank at Carolina Southern. They already do all those things. Wow.
Carolina Southern, more than a bank, your business partner.
Isn't it time you made a change in your life? Ever thought of becoming a professional truck driver? England Trucking is growing, and we need qualified drivers. Here's your chance to get the instruction you need and be guaranteed a full-time job with England Trucking after you successfully complete our training course. You'll learn to use the latest equipment, and in just 3 short weeks, you'll be earning money while driving the best trucks on the road. And this great career opportunity is right in your own backyard. Call England's Driver Training Center now.
We on the selection committee feel that this new Cintas uniform rental program will favorably impact employee performance, save them time and money, and improve the overall image of the company.
Great. So what do the employees think?
My uniform's red hot. My uniform's red hot. Hey, it looks good. And feels fine now.
Uniforms from Cintas. Because if you're not in Cintas, you're not in uniform.
Red hot. Red hot. Looks good.
21-0, and the question begs, why isn't Tate warming up? Right now he isn't, and the kick comes down 6 yards deep into the hands of Robert Isaac. Mississippi State will take over 1st and 10. Now I think he may be getting ready to loosen just a bit. You'd think, given the circumstances, the pressure certainly would be off were he to come in.
Yeah, that's what they have said about Derek Tate. They really enjoyed him. You know the big year that he had his sophomore year, but he's been under a lot of pressure. Jackie Sherrill told us he's a wonderful young man, but he's just pressing. So what do? Hey, there's no pressure right now. You're down 21 points. Put him in. What can he do? Because Matt Wyatt has not run this offense with any authority.
Not much room for Isaac as they try to establish a bit of a running game. Wyatt, by the way, did perform admirably in the victory against South Carolina. There are certain teams, obviously, that youngsters can match up against well, and obviously when you're running up against a defense authored by Bill Oliver, one of the noted gurus of the industry, life can become much more difficult for a youngster at quarterback, as Anthony Wright found out when going against Joe Lee Dunn a couple of weeks back.
Absolutely. As we watch Carson run off the field, looked like he sprained an ankle, but a lot of pressure on Wyatt. What he needs to do is gain that confidence, get some things going. I think they only have 1 first down. There's brother.
Bill Oliver, of course, noted for his days at Alabama, and now Pete Jenkins, the defensive line coach with Auburn, was at Mississippi State last year. So you talk about the giveaway takeaway story. Mississippi State dropping it far too many times to allow themselves to have success. Isaac, not much room. It's pretty obvious that with Matt Wyatt in there, they are doing their best to reestablish the run game, which makes me believe they've lost a little confidence in it.
Well, what you do is you go back to the basics and hope that you can get your quarterback calmed down. But what Mississippi State is going to have to do in this football game is throw the football.
We talked about Mississippi State's difficulty. Auburn is number 2 in the nation in creating turnovers. They're +6 in the giveaway takeaway department. They had been number 1 until the LSU game. 12 interceptions, second in the NCAAs. Now 13 after the one return for a touchdown by Evans. 6 DBs again for White. Now pattern is complete, but again a very safe pass to the 33-yard line for a first down. I think you have to give Jackie Sherrill his due for at least sticking to his guns and not creating for this youngster the lack of confidence if he got the early hook.
Well, what you do with a freshman is you crush him when you take him out in this situation because he thinks I've caused our team to lose. But that's a young man that they need to find. They need to find Woodbury. He's very, very consistent. Jackie Sherrill said he has not dropped a ball yet this year that's been thrown in his direction.
Just the second first down for Mississippi State. Play fake. White off the sprint out to Lakia Greer. He is stopped at the 40-yard line by Ricky Neal.
Well, there's a lot of time in this second quarter. What you need to do if you're Mississippi State is drive down, get some momentum going. Again, watch this. Slide, slide, slide. Now get out there. That's Ricky Neal, number 50. Get to the outside. You know, when you have a middle linebacker that can run like that, no wonder he was in on 18 tackles against South Carolina. 18 tackles for that young man.
The strength of this team is its linebacking core. They have been exploited in their secondary, and their down front has been blown off a time or two. But the down front answers this time. Brumbaugh, number 96, the sophomore from Keystone Heights, roughs up Robert Isaac. Bob Kessling.
We talked to Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator, right before the game. He said one of the problems Mississippi State has right now, they don't have that big play guy, a guy that can throw it out there and maybe take a 5-yard pass and turn it into a 90-yard touchdown. They had Eric Moles here last year. Then they built the offense around Kiefer McGee. So Robert Isaac's a nice back, but he's awfully small and takes a pounding. They're just looking for somebody to step up and be a big play guy.
You're right. Third down and 7. Wyatt in trouble again. That was a pass that could have been picked.
Well, Tim, you talk about, you know, as Bob Kessling was saying, you talk about a big play man. Look what they lost when they took Kiefer McGee out of that football game. They lost 70% of their offensive production. That's an incredible amount. They had their big guy. Unfortunately, he's hurt.
Not only could he run with power from tackle to tackle, but he could break them and had the speed to go the distance. Well, it's a punt formation again for Andy Russ, who's been busy today. Baker is again deep at the 15-yard line. Markers down.
There's plenty of time left on the clock.
And look at the kick. Dying at the 2 or 1 yard line. I mean, he got all of it.
Wow, that would have been a 62-yard punt.
You know it's not your day when that happens to you.
Now, this is going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
This deep into a season, that's not supposed to happen to him.
It's a 5-yard penalty, but watch the difference on the play. Auburn was going to get the football on the 20-yard line. Now, let's watch what happens. Watch where the field position is.
You can make a case that if Mississippi State had done a decent job of coverage, the ball went high into the air. They might have been able to stop it at the 1.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it hit like a 9-iron and went straight up.
Yeah, like your 9-iron this morning. Yeah.
Don't be giving away our secrets. Russ. This time it's caught at the 15. And here goes Baker. Look out. Right down the sidelines, you can add another 22 yards to the equation. And were it not for Tim Nelson's play on his own, really number 17, a Herculean effort by Nelson just to drag him down. A 53-yard punt, but a 27-yard return.
Well, you see the difference in little things? That offside motion penalty got them a return. Now they've got the football out at the 42-yard line. Instead of having the football deep in their own territory, at best out to the 20, they're out almost to midfield.
7:45 remaining here in the second quarter. Auburn with 2 touchdowns offensively, and their defense has scored on an interception return by Van Evans. Rusty Williams showing some power, gets it out about 5 yards in the grasp of Terry Day. The announcers for this game, that would include Bob Kessling, Dave Rowe, and yours truly, Tim Brando, are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast, a copyright presentation. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited.
Yeah, if anybody uses this broadcast, they send me after them.
2nd and 5. Marquis Cooper now dots the I behind McLeod. 3-step drop, and there's the pressure. Gregory Favors comes through with a sack. That's his specialty from that defensive end spot. 3rd sack of the year for him.
It's a hitch. They get up in his face right here. He has to pull the football down. You see number 6, that's Derricks, who gets up in his face. Then all of a sudden he has to pull the football down. Favors does him a favor and knocks him down.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 with the ball back at the 42-yard line.
I thought Damian Craig said, where'd that guy come from?
Goodson. Well, that was a rifle shot. I don't believe he ever had control, and he did not. It's ruled incomplete. Boy, I'm telling you, Craig, I could hear that pass hit his shoulder pad in the chest.
Yes,
that's how well it was thrown.
I heard the same thud when it hit him. It hit him right in the chest. You want to catch the football away from your body? That one almost stuck in his chest.
Robert Isaac will punt it away. RB receiving as you see Jared Holmes back to punt it away.
10 men up for Mississippi State.
Coming after it again, and they get this one. It's still loose. Nelson's on top of it at the 9-yard line. Adesela Baden blocked it. 25 Baden with the block. Nelson 17 with the recovery.
10 men up on the block. You always think block when you see 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. You can see all the maroon jerseys. They were coming. Watch number 25 Baden. Slices right in there. Right, perfect pitch. Right on the hands. Now, just get the football. Come down with the possession. You've got great field position. Now you have to have your offense score.
Bulldog faithful finally with something to cheer about from the 10. Isaac for a couple. Buckhalter is now in the game, and Buckhalter gets the carry.
Well, you don't want to make a mistake in here. This is a sure running game play. Buckhalter is that power type fullback runner in there, just drives in there, just trying to get yardage.
He's more of a power back, but he's still only 5'10", 217. This is just the area where they miss Kiefer McGee most.
Yeah, McGee had that inside-outside drag where he could go inside, break it outside, and beat him to the corner.
Double tight end formation. Buckhalter again, they fooled no one. Martavius Houston and Marcus Camp collaborate this time. Camp, the sophomore from Lithonia, Georgia, number 42.
And Tim, it was an interesting formation. They put 2 wideouts to the top to try to draw the defensive secondary, then ran a misdirection play. That's where you start to the strong side. He takes a step, plants, and comes back to the weak side, which would be the left side of the formation. But as you said, it fooled no one.
It may be 4-down territory here.
Absolutely 4-down territory.
I don't know how much 3 really helps you. Lofts it. Touchdown! Lahidi Grant.
Well, they always talk about defenses setting the tone. The defense has set the tone right now because they gave the offense a great opportunity. Offense has been stagnant. They come in, block that punt, get great field position. Now your offense scores. Now you're back in the football game.
Ryan Hazelwood for the extra point, right through the uprights. Well, Jackie Sherrill, you can't get away from the disciple of Paul Bear Bryant. If you can't get it done with your offense or defense, try special teams. That sets up the touchdown. 21-7 our score. We'll return to Starkville after this.
The brand. In the West, it's the way a man marks what's his. We're the beef people, and our WD brand is on every steak we sell. It means our U.S. choice.
Tim, a big play here by Lahidi Grant, number 4. Out drag, out to the flat. Look how wide open he is. Now just concentrate on it. He looks it in. That's a great catch.
Wasn't the easiest catch, and Wyatt understands that. I mean, he knows he got bailed out a bit. He threw it behind him.
Absolutely, and he threw it into a pretty bright sun.
And Adesela Baden, drawing the start defensively, gets it done on special teams with the block kick to set up that touchdown. And suddenly, Mississippi State finds themselves in it with 4:45 to play here in the first half.
Look at the players. Get up, crowd. Help us out.
Baker watches this one sail all the way through the end zone. Well, you can't say anything negative about the play of Damian Craig today, and this is just the location where coaches tell their teams, look, offensively we've been dominant. Let's go down, just jam it right down their throats, score again, and you take all of this excitement away.
No, it certainly does. That's what you want him to do. If you want him to come in the football game, take back control of the football game. Don't force the ball in trouble. You've just had a big turnover. Momentum has swung back to Mississippi State. If you're on offense, you say, don't force the ball in. Don't have the risk of an interception.
Baker, the flanker to the lower portion of the field. And a quick hitter yet again to Karsten Bailey. Cannot get away, though, from Eric Daniel, number 5, the sophomore from LaGrange, Georgia. Bob Kessler.
Yeah, Tim, we need to tell you a couple of injuries on the Auburn defensive front right now. One of those, Leonardo Carson, they're going to ice him at halftime, see if he can play. He's got a twisted knee. Also, Shannon Suttle, number 99, is not playing. It happened as they were running out on the field. He almost ran over Coach Bowden, tried to avoid him, and he strained his back. So Suttle is not in the game.
Wow, that is a loss. The junior out of Lafayette, Georgia, not in there. Rusty Williams, who's been active today, along with Markeith Cooper, getting many more calls out of that tailback position for Bobby, starting to say Bobby Bowden, Terry Bowden. You know, I was thinking as I was looking at Terry, you know, not only coaches have to be responsible for the alumni, public relations, and now they can be blamed for helping to injure linemen as they're running out onto the field. You think the alumni will get upset with them over that?
I don't know, but I think your defensive coordinator might.
3rd down and 2, and we've got a marker down.
Plenty of time on the clock. It's not a time. Well, we're going to hear.
Ball before the snap. Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's one that coaches across the country have been trying to get away with for years, but more so now when trying to make defensive coordinators think about formation, 3 wide or 4 wide.
Yeah, what you do is you run a couple extra wide receivers out in the huddle, and at the last second as you break the huddle, you run a couple of them off.
3rd down and 7. Jolie Dunn pacing, hoping his defense can come up with a stop here to give better field position to the Mississippi State offense.
And you get the feeling that Mississippi State's defense has kind of settled down a little bit.
Out of the shotgun, Craig. Cannot get away from Garner. 54. Ernest Garner wraps him up.
Tim, I think that was a quarterback draw all the way. They were going to try to rush the lineman, make the defensive lineman go wide, and watch the quarterback. Couple steps now, find a little seam. There's no seam there. They collapse in front of him. The big man, 54, makes the play in there. That's Garner. And they bring him down, and their defense has really responded well. The last couple series, they played well.
Loss of 3. It's 4th down and 10. Holmes to punt it away from his 12. Isaac should have room at his 38. There's a seam. Breaks one tackle and is down at the 45-yard line of Auburn. And he ran right through Sincade Pennington, number 40, a pretty decent fullback in his own right. Finally was stopped by Mostella. Let's go down to Bob Kessler.
Everybody's concerned about the injury situation with Mississippi State. Dr. Rusty Linton is the team orthopedic surgeon. Talk about Kiefer McGee and James Greer's situation.
Well, both of them had a very similar injury with a completely torn anterior cruciate ligament and a sprain to the medial collateral ligament. One of the things you want to do before you operate, though, is get motion in the knee so they're less prone to have stiffness. James got his motion, and we did surgery on him yesterday. He's actually here at the game today in the field house. keeper we're going to do Thursday. He's right at the point of getting his motion, but we felt like it's better to wait. It's a 6 months rehab anyway, so one more week of waiting to get the motion to have a better rehab is well worth it.
Neither one can return this season, you don't think?
Doubtful if they can return this season. I've seen some that they let play 3 months, example Rod Woodson for the Steelers, but that's the Super Bowl where they went, a few extra weeks after the season. Bowl game possibly, but most likely just next year. Sure thing.
2nd down and 4. Here comes a blitz from Solomon. That may have been, well, he was out of bounds. Jeremy Jones, who caught the last pass, got that one, but he was out of bounds. Speaking of orthopedic surgeons, Terry Bowden has seen his fair share. Dr. Swade performed surgery on his 6th and 7th cervical vertebra at Health South in Birmingham. And I've been in that facility, and it's amazing how many ACLs and rotator cuff surgical procedures they'll perform in a given day.
Interesting. They said they went right through the front of his neck to operate on it.
3rd down and 4. Well, he lipped off his initial receiver that time and nearly found Trey Belcher. Pass thrown a bit behind him, and it's incomplete.
I wondered if Ricky Neal, number 50, got a hand on that football because the ball seemed to lose its direction. 4th down, why not go for it? You're down 14 points. You've got 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. Why not go for it?
Yeah, but you see, they just called timeout.
Well,
and statistical data would indicate that after taking timeout to think, they generally bring the punter onto the field of play.
I wanted to clear up something about the knee injury. There are 4 main ligaments in the knees. The 2 collateral, medial and lateral collaterals, are on the outside. The 2 cruciate ligaments are on the inside. That's stability. Anytime you lose the ones in the middle, that's the tough one to come back from.
Fans, you can visit us online at the address that we're now showing you on the screen. You can find out which SEC game we'll be televising each week and where to find it in your area. That game next week would be Vanderbilt and Georgia. We'll have a lot of new things to come online, so be sure to visit www.jpssports.com.
I heard that Jim Rowe has his own line on the internet. He has his own address on the internet. Now that's moving up for an offensive lineman to have his own line or his own internet address. He's not only a pilot. He talks about being a free spirit. He's a free spirit.
He is off the speed bump of the information highway.
I think they're going to go for this. I think it's too long. It's obviously too long for a field goal. Well, I think it's too long for a field goal. And Jackie can always be Jackie and be unpredictable.
But one of the things you sacrifice, though, in this situation with 2:11 to play, and Auburn's offensive style is much too much field position. But the way this game has been going, I think Sherrill understands that Auburn's going to score. His defense will not keep them out of the end zone. So when you have a possession, you have to take as much advantage as possible.
If I'm Matt Wyatt, I'm going to look for Lahidi Grant, number 4. He's really been successful. Now they call another timeout.
It's definitely punt time now, right? No. Oh, I believe I'm seeing Hazelwood come out. That would indicate with the wind, they might be considering a field goal try. It would be a 56-yarder.
56 yards. That's a good chunk.
Hazelwood, by the way, his longest is 51. He's 4 for 5 this year, has plenty of leg, so they may be giving him the opportunity.
The only problem when you kick long is you have to kick the trajectory of the football is low as it goes across the line of scrimmage, and a lot of times you get those defensive backs who jump up high. They can jump 10 feet in the air and they can get penetration. They can knock the football down. So do you give up on the distance and try to keep the ball high? You try to get it long, you have to kick it low.
Clinton, Mississippi has produced a number of tremendous kickers, 2 of which we're seeing today. Hazelwood, a sophomore from Clinton, and Jared Holmes, the junior college star from Hines JC, also from Clinton, Mississippi, who handles both the punting and the place kicking chores for Auburn. Bob Kessling again. Bob?
Yeah, coming up at halftime, we're going to run down scores from around the conference and also around the nation as well. We'll talk to both of the coaches in this game, and also, remember, basketball season starts next week, so we'll talk to Richard Williams of the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who had a terrific run last year. Also, Shannon Settle for Auburn. He's just gone to the locker room. We told you about his bad back. He's already in there getting treatment, so he might not play in the second half.
56-yard try for Hazelwood out of the hold of Rob Morgan. It's blocked. Jimmy Brumbaugh got through there and blocked it. And so now Auburn, with plenty of time with which to work, has a chance to extend its lead, which is already set at 14.
And really, if you really want to look at statistics and things, Mississippi State really dodged a bullet on that play because that ball was blocked at the line of scrimmage. The trajectory was just as I said, it was low. The ball carried into the end zone. Now they bring it all the way back to the line of scrimmage. Rolled into the end zone. They take over 39-yard line.
Quality field position for Damian Craig, who's had a very big first half today. Rolling from pressure, pass incomplete. Intended for Baker at the 40-yard line. Izell McGill was there. Craig is 12 of 17, 136 yards and a touchdown.
Well, that was a nice close by McGill. He saw the quarterback throw the football. He nailed it up the middle. Now watch in the middle here. Not a whole lot of penetration through the line, but you see the hands go up. The trajectory had to be low. Now the ball's brought all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Rusty Williams checks in. Markeith Cooper out. In that backfield, McLeod is the up back. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Rolling left, throwing across your body. Bailey on the receiving end of a 17-yard strike. And that certainly does apply. Adesla Payton there to make the stop.
Yeah, and Gregory Favors, number 56, right in your face. Look at Favors, 56, right in his face. He throws it almost between his arms and delivers a strike.
We heard great things about Craig. Of course, he was a short yardage, option-oriented, inside the 10-yard line quarterback in his freshman and sophomore year. Bailey, by the way, with 4 catches for 76 yards. But he has been up to the advanced billing so far this year.
Oh, he's the difference in a football game. He's outstanding.
Here comes Lacoste on a blitz. Pass is complete over the middle to Gaucher. Willie Gaucher, the senior from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, had his eligibility restored. You might have remembered that he was ineligible because he didn't complete some summer courses due to the premature illness of his aunt, who really raised him. His parents died prematurely, and when his aunt became ill, he left class, did not complete them, but the NCAA restored that eligibility just a little over a week ago. That was right back in Craig's face. We've had a number of batted passes today. This time it's Terry Day.
Yeah, what they're doing is, as Craig is reading the blitz, and that's what Mississippi State's doing each time, is running that middle blitz, that center blitz where they get pressure in his face. He's trying to dump the football. That time Day got up with those big arms. He's about 6'5", just skied in front of him, knocked it down. There's only one problem with that blitz. If they pick it up, then everybody's in one-on-one situation. Here they come again.
3rd and 3. Out pattern complete to Goodson. And he's run out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Kendall Robertson made the stop.
And one of the things, Tim, is that as Damian Craig is going from that shotgun position, he sees the blitz. See right there, he sees the backers coming on him fast, takes a couple steps out to the flat, gets a little bit away from the pressure, finds the uncovered receiver. He's doing a good job back there reading it.
Yeah, even the times and the sequences where he is stopped, you can see that the confidence is not at all shaken. Here they come again, batted into the air by Day yet again.
And I think the defense judged, they guessed wrong on the snap count. I think they're going to be caught in the neutral zone.
Incomplete. Broken up by Terry Day. Flag on the play.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Oh, that Mississippi Riverboat gambling style brought from the blow-and-go defensive coordinator that is Jolie Dunn. Makes a mistake, which forces a 1st and 5, and the penalty yardage really cropping up for the Bulldogs.
Well, this is that middle blitz again. Here they go.
They got a hand on that one, but Cooper does find it. And here he goes. Touchdown for the little lizard, Markeith Cooper.
Great read that time by Damian Craig. Pressure up the middle. Swing your back out of the backfield. Dump him the football and let him do what he does best. And that's run with the football when he gets in that open field.
2nd touchdown catch for Markeith Cooper, who made a couple of good moves after making the reception. I really believe that ball was tipped
I thought
as it was thrown to him.
football is brought to you in part by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Welcome back to Starkville. The update on the quarterback Wyatt for Mississippi State. Did get a finger in the eye. They say he can come back. Eric Brown has taken his shoulder pads off. It looks like he's out for the rest of the game.
So Dr. Rowe was accurate with that assessment. Where
Thanks, buddy.
Wyatt's eyesight was concerned, but all that notwithstanding, the opportunity to get Tate in. To me, there's a real shortfall here, man. Nothing but really good things can come for both if, in fact, Wyatt is displaced for that reason and Tate is in the game.
I think you're absolutely right.
Isaac. Oh, that's a quick move. He caught the corner and turned upfield before the Auburn defenders really thought he would. Marcus Camp and Ricky Neal, the two linebackers, collaborate to stop a very resourceful Robert Isaac that time.
I thought Terry Bowden was the one who won the slashing offensive runners. That time, Robert Isaac, he's just a 5'8", 166-pounder, but he came just slashing through there, just knifed through.
They say he can get into the crack in a hurry, and that was proof of it right there. 2nd and 4 at the 36. Example of it as he burrows near the first down to about the 33-yard line.
Oh, an excellent play selection here by Derek Tate in this situation. Use Isaac in there. Got a great plant that time. He was going to go left. Watch him plant that left foot. Bam! Now cut right back in. Sees the big block there by Greer. 31 in the hole. Follows him in there. Good yardage pickup. 3rd down and 1.
They're really less than a yard away from the first down. Very close.
Now, if I'm Derek Tate, I'm going to say, hey, let me just take that football, roll out, and throw it.
Pete Jenkins asking his defensive line to shorten those gaps as they feel that it's coming right up the middle from Tate, and it is. Tate should have the first down.
Well, I think the mark is going to certainly give him a first down. I'm surprised on that play. I know when you're down like this in a game, you're down 21 points, you need to keep your offense going, but 3rd down and 6 inches, why not pull that football down, roll Tate out, get him out in that flat, and let him use that speed. Jackie is anything but conservative.
That's true. That's true. Third down opportunity that is made by Mississippi State, allowing themselves another first down in this series since Tate has come into the game. Play clock winding down. They just get it off. He lost this one for Lahidi Grant. Incomplete. Right in his hands and out. And I think Creighton may have gotten a hand in there himself.
You have got to catch this football if you're Lahidi Grant, number 4. He's wide open. The ball is thrown to him. Look at this play. Coming right at you. Now look. See if Creighton gets the hand in there. He may have tipped the football, but again, you've got to go up for that football. He was wide open.
He does have 3 catches, including 1 for a touchdown.
Well, maybe you ought to try Woodbury.
Well, he gave up on that play.